We all know the drill. You set goals. Big ones. Beautiful ones. Starting Monday, I'll be healthy, wake up early, meditate, and finally write that book. Monday arrives. You open your eyes. The alarm blares. And then, you smack that thing harder than you've ever high-fived a human being. 3 hours later, you're on the couch in pajamas, chips on your shirt, and Netflix asking, "Are you still watching?" Of course you are. You need closure on that reality show about people living in trees. You tell yourself, I just have no discipline. As if discipline is some magic pill only handed out to six-pack owners with Pinterest-worthy morning routines. But what if I told you? The problem isn't you. You don't lack character. You don't lack motivation. You just lack a method that actually works with your brain, not against it. Introducing the Lotus Method. A method not designed for perfect people with iron willpower, but for messy humans with snack cravings, overstimulated brains, and just the right amount of sarcasm. Discipline without self-loathing. Growth without the mental whip. Sound good? Grab your headphones, give your inner chaos a warm hug, and let me help you reboot your brain. Lotus style. Okay, so what is this Lotus Method? Sounds like something your neighbor picked up on a yoga retreat in Bali while sipping coconut water out of a golden gourd. But nope. This is not some spiritual fluff. The Lotus Method is simple, practical, human. Picture your brain as a garden. And discipline? It's not boot camp. It's a seed you water daily. Even on days when you feel like rolling yourself into a burrito of blankets and disappearing from adulthood. Why a lotus? Because the lotus flower grows in mud, not in perfect Instagram-filtered water, in real, dirty, chaotic, squishy mud. Just like your life. And that's exactly what makes this method powerful. You don't have to wait for the stars to align, the kids to behave, or Mercury to unretrograde. You start now, in the mess, in the mood you're in the reality you're living. The Lotus Method is built on 5 principles, not 5 steps, because it's not an IKEA manual. You don't finish it, you live it. And here's the kicker. You don't have to fix yourself first. You can start where you are, right now, with your self-doubt, your half-finished journal, and your unopened gym membership. You're not broken, you're not lazy. You're just using a system that wasn't built for your actual life. So let's try something else. Something gentler. Something that works. Ready to dig into the 5 Lotus principles? Hold on tight. Or better yet, hold yourself tight, we're going brain gardening. 1. Awareness. Ever picked up your phone to check one thing, and suddenly you're deep into a rabbit hole about a wombat with anxiety issues? Yeah, welcome to the kingdom of distraction. The first principle is awareness. Not just noticing you're procrastinating, but understanding why. Are you anxious? Overwhelmed? Bored? Instead of slapping on the label lazy, you ask, what's actually going on inside me? This isn't about fixing yourself. It's about seeing clearly. Think of awareness as turning the lights on in your mental basement. You don't have to clean it yet. Just stop tripping over everything in the dark. 2. Flow. Flow doesn't mean being in the zone all the time with Enya playing and green tea steaming nearby. Flow means stop fighting your energy. You plan to work out at 7 a.m. Your body said, nice try. Your brain said, failure. The Lotus Method says, cool, adjust, flex, pivot, flow. Maybe you don't hit the gym. Maybe you stretch for 5 minutes. Maybe you don't write a whole article. Maybe you jot down 3 ideas. It's not about being lazy. It's about not being a jerk to yourself. Flow is less Hulk smash and more, okay, what's the smart move today? 3. Silence. Modern life is basically a noise machine with a side of FOMO. Podcasts, music, YouTube, social media, ads, opinions, alarms, more opinions, and in all that chaos, you ask, why can't I hear myself? What am I think? Enter silence. Not the kind where you move to a monastery and swear off speech, but tiny, intentional moments of nothing. Turn off the input. No phone, no podcast. Just you and you. Start with 2 minutes. Sit, breathe, listen. It's weird. It's awkward. It's powerful. Because in the silence, your real priorities start whispering. Not TikTok's algorithm. Not your mom. Not your productivity app. You. 4. Action. Now here's where most people mess it up. They go, I'm going to change my whole life starting tomorrow. Cue montage music and calendar filled with 67 new habits. By Wednesday, they're eating ice cream in the shower. The Lotus Method says, action should be tiny and repeatable, like a cozy little ritual, not a punishment. Want to write a book? Open your doc and write 1 sentence. Want to get fit? Do D-set jumping jacks. Or 3. Or 1 while holding a coffee. The point isn't to impress anyone. The point is to build momentum that doesn't feel like a mental assault. Big changes come from laughably small actions, over and over again. 5. Patience. Okay. Deep breath. This one's hard, because we want results now. Yesterday, actually. But real discipline doesn't work like a microwave burrito. It's like growing a plant. You water it. You wait. You show up again tomorrow. Some days it looks like nothing's happening. Then one day, bam, you're doing the thing. Without a meltdown. Without bribing yourself with cookies. That's not luck. That's patience, baby. The Lotus Method reminds us, you're not a robot. You're a living process. And you can't rush a bloom. So that's it. 5 principles that sound simple, but feel like magic when you live them. Awareness. Flow. Silence. Action. Patience. You don't need a new personality. You need a new approach. And this one doesn't involve yelling at yourself in the mirror or downloading your 12th habit tracker. Okay, time to meet our favorite disaster, you on Monday morning. Your grand plan. Wake up at 6 a.m. Cold shower. Meditate. Journal. Yoga. Make a smoothie. Read a book. And start working like a productivity god. Reality? You wake up at 7:45 with your face in a half-eaten bag of chips, wearing 1 sock and mild shame. Now what? Enter Lotus mode. Awareness. I'm tired. I overplanned. I'm not lazy. I'm overloaded. Flow. What would feel light right now? Maybe it's just putting on real pants. Maybe it's brushing your teeth without crying. Silence. You sit quietly on the edge of your bed. 2 minutes. No phone. Just breathing. It's awkward. It's good. Action. You drink water. You stretch. You write 1 line in your journal that says, "Today I tried." That counts. Patience. Tomorrow is another shot, and the day after that. You're not building a highlight reel. You're planting roots. That's how discipline grows in the real world. Messy, human, software, and powerful as hell. Let's talk about the landmines. The little traps that turn discipline into misery. Mistake 1. Thinking discipline equals being hard on yourself. If I just punish myself enough, I'll finally succeed. Spoiler, that's not discipline. That's emotional CrossFit. Your brain isn't a soldier, it's a garden. Stop yelling at the lettuce. Mistake 2. Skipping silence and patience. These feel boring, useless, like you're doing nothing. But guess what? That nothing is where the real rewiring happens. Skipping silence is like skipping sleep. Eventually, everything crashes. Mistake 3. Action without awareness. You're doing all the things, apps, habits, hustle. But you still feel stuck. Why? Because you're running without direction. Discipline without self-reflection is just controlled chaos. The Lotus Method doesn't work if you treat it like a checklist. It's not about perfecting every step. It's about integrating them like ingredients in a soup. And if your soup tastes weird today, cool. Try again tomorrow. Add more silence, less hustle, maybe a sprinkle of patience. So, what did we learn, my beautifully flawed little stick figure? Discipline isn't about force. It's not about willpower marathons or yelling at yourself until you finally do the thing. It's about awareness. What's going on in me? Flow. How can I move with this, not against it? Silence. Can I stop long enough to hear what matters? Action. What's one small thing I can do now? Patience. Can I trust growth to take its sweet time? That's the Lotus Method. Not a quick fix, a kind one. So, here's your mission. Pick one principle per day this week. Start small. Notice what shifts. You don't need to overhaul your life. You just need to water your brain garden. Consistently. All right, your turn. Have you ever tried to discipline yourself and ended up eating snacks in shame while your productivity planner silently judged you? Tell me about it in the comments. No shame here. We're all beautifully chaotic together. If this video made you laugh, think, or pause, your doom scroll for more than 8 seconds. Smash that like button like it owes you money. Seriously, it tells the YouTube gods I exist. And hey, subscribe. Not because I asked nicely, but because your brain deserves better than burnout and guilt. Discipline starts with one click. Make it count.